So I question myself, do I ever long to be gracious to other people? Do I ever long to treat people better than what it is that they deserve? I don't have to think hard about times where I've given somebody exactly what it is I thought they deserved, right? They cut me off. Of course, I should scream and yell at them. They deserve it. They were being an idiot, right? They were horrible to me. Why wouldn't I treat them back the same way? Why wouldn't I put them in their place? They hurt somebody that I love, and they deserve my righteous anger. These things come real natural to us. But I can't think of how many times in my life I've said, yes, you know what? They deserve my anger. They've hurt me. They've abused my trust. They've betrayed me. They deserve all of everything that I can throw at them, but I'm going to forego my anger. Why? Not because it's easy. It's very hard. But because my soul is grown in just simply treating somebody better than what it is that they deserve. My soul profits nothing when I give in to this impulse to rant and rave at people. I don't grow in that, but my soul grows in the challenging aspect of saying, I'm going to treat somebody better than what they deserve, not because it's easy, not even because they deserve it, but simply because my soul is better off for it. My soul is stretched. My soul is grown in that challenge. All right, number 2. Isaiah the prophet says, God not only longs to be gracious to us, but God is filled with compassion. God longs to show compassion to people. Do I ever in my heart feel a longing to show compassion to another person? Do I look at people who have less than I have, who are suffering and hurting, and feel the compulsion to say, man, that's got to be hard. I want to help them out. Or am I simply annoyed by them? I'm bothered by them, and I think, you know what? They kind of probably got just what it is that they deserve. We show compassion in many different ways. It ranges from really loving our kids to Jesus Christ to serving those who are in need. It ranges from being kind to somebody who's different than I am to going out and serving and feeding people in downtown Cleveland. We live in the 3rd poorest city in the world. We don't have to look very far to see people who are in need. And really, what does it cost? It hurts me nothing to show compassion to another person. And this idea of compassion is more than just this feeling in my heart that, yeah, I feel bad for them. But in fact, it is this idea of I'm moved to do something to help alleviate the suffering that they're going through right now. We packed up our kids last night and sent them on their mission trip. There are 54 people packed into a bus on their way to Somerville, Tennessee right now. They rock. We love them. They gave up a week of their summer to go do work on people's homes who can't do it for themselves. They didn't just give up a week of their summer. They paid to be there. And you know what? Some of the awesome people here at Christ Church helped pay for them to be there so that they could show compassion to those people who are in need or suffering. And I guarantee you, every single person that comes back on our mission trip is going to have story after story after story of what an awesome time they had. Why? Because their soul was matured in the act of showing compassion to another person. They're better because of it, and they're going to come back full of energy, excited about what it is that they've done. I want to give us 9 more worthy longings to challenge ourselves with. It is worthy to long for graciousness. It is worthy to long for compassion. It's also worthy to long for being trustworthy. Do I long to be trustworthy? Number 2, do I long to be honest? I don't always want to be honest. Sometimes I really don't want to, especially when it makes me look bad. But it's a noble quality to long to be honest. Number 3, do I long to encourage other people? Or am I the kind of person that when people are around me, their life is worse off because of it? Do people leave situations with me thinking, wow, my life is good, I feel better? Or do they leave feeling like the life has been sucked out of them because that's who I am? Do I long to encourage other people? Number 4, do I long to live life well? It's inevitable. We are going to live life. You really can't stop the process. It happens day after day comes. Sunday goes away, Monday comes. Monday goes away, Tuesday comes. It happens whether we're a participant in it or not. So do I say, you know what, I don't want to just coast by in life, but I really long to live life well? Number 5, do we long to live a life marked by purity? The world is full of dark and ugly, but do I really in my heart long to live a life that is marked with purity and in Christ's light? Number 6, do we long for the eternal, not just the temporal? Number 7, do we long to wait for the things of God? I'm a Russian kind of person. Patience doesn't really come easy to me. I want it and I want it now, right? But look, God has a plan. And in his good time, he develops that plan. Am I in my heart longing enough to say, you know what, I'm going to wait on the things of God because it's noble and it's worthy? Number 8, do we long to see Christ's church grow in this generation? And finally, do we long to see our kids and the people of this church become champions for Jesus Christ? It says in verse 40, I long for your precepts. This word precepts means here to give into safekeeping. All right, so here's how it looks. When we long for what God decrees of us, we give ourselves into God's safekeeping. When I long for the things that God orders of me, I'm basically saying I give myself up into his safekeeping. I say, dear God, I trust your way enough that I'm willing to try. I'm simply willing to try longing for the things that are of you and give myself into your safekeeping. And this process starts with challenging the things that I long for in my heart. Am I longing for those things that will make me a better, more capable person? Am I longing for things that are noble and worthy? Or do I long for these things that are very temporary and will never satisfy my soul? Because here's what it is. God satisfies the longing soul. What starts out as a willingness to just simply try turns into my strongest desire to live life in a way that is pleasing and honoring to God. We step up our game, we grow in the process when we long for what God decrees and give ourselves into his safekeeping. I want to look at the second part of verse 40. The first part says, I long for your precepts. And then the second part, the psalmist says this, behold, in your righteousness, give me life. All right, I want to say this. What if, in the very genius rightness of who God is, he created this paradigm for us that grows our soul and teaches us how to play life well, to play at the very peak of our performance?